Welcome back to 5 Minute Fantasy Football, presented to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you go to Underdog, use promo code FFSGPN so they know we sent you, and play their pick'em. Every week, we're picking the higher on the Derrick Henry touchdowns, and every week, it's a great building block. Go play Underdog, use promo code FFSGPN. So let's look at this week. So we have my updated rankings, and those I'll update more tomorrow. Usually Friday's a great day to know who's traveled, who hasn't traveled, who's practiced this week, and who hasn't practiced this week. And of course, making sure that we are taking the players out, moving the players that are affected in. My top 12 quarterbacks this week: Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, and Kirk Cousins. We'll talk about Kirk Cousins in a second. My running backs: Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jordan Mason. That was a big L. Went out with an injury early in the game on Thursday night. That sucked. Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson. He was limited in practice today with a hamstring injury. We'll monitor that, but for now, he's my number 5. Gibbs at 6, Walker at 7, Jacobs at 8, Breece Hall at 9, James Conner at 10, Dave Montgomery at 11, and then James Cook at 12. James Cook is another one. He's missed. He's been not a full participant 2 days in a row, so we need to monitor James Cook. My wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jaden Reed, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, Drake London, A.J. Brown, Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, and Chris Godwin. And then the tight end position, my top tight ends this week: George Kittle, 2 touchdowns tonight, big night. Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Jake Ferguson, Sam Laporta, Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts. He's a streaming option this week. The only reason I'm not featuring him in my streamers is because he's probably on your roster, not available. Dalton Kincaid, Dallas Goedert, Pat Freiermuth, Isaiah Likely at 11, Tyler Conklin at 12. And let's get into the streamers. And so when we look at the streamers, the first thing we're looking at is who are the defenses to target. The top defenses to target for the quarterback position in fantasy football: the Jaguars, the Buccaneers, the Colts, the Bengals, and the Ravens. First tight end position, the number 1 position is the Rams. Number 2 is the Chiefs. They're both off this week. The Colts are the 3rd, Bengals are the 4th, Minnesota Vikings are the 5th, and I threw a bonus, the Carolina Panthers are the 6th. So the Colts, they get, that's going to be a good matchup this week. We'll see what happens if they have Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco playing. The Colts against Tennessee, I'm not really interested in the Tennessee tight ends this week. Cincinnati Bengals, they get the Giants. I'm not really interested in the Giants tight ends this week. Just because it's a good defensive target, you are looking for teams that actually utilize tight end position, and neither of those teams do that. Minnesota Vikings are off this week, so that leaves us the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers, that's one you're going to want to look at for Kyle Pitts. He gets a great matchup this week. But quarterbacks, Caleb Williams has been much improved over the last 3 weeks, 300 yards or more over the last 2 out of the last 3 games. They're on a 2-game winning streak. He's rushed the ball 5 times in every game except for one. 113 yards. He got 5 yards per carry, 113 yards in the ground. And we've seen multiple touchdowns from him back-to-back weeks. So Caleb Williams is a guy to play, and Jacksonville is the team to target. Caleb Williams and those pass catchers are all in play this week. Kirk Cousins, he's been on fire ever since that Philadelphia fourth quarter comeback, and I don't know why he's not 100% rostered. Carolina Panthers are a great matchup. I know sometimes the games are a little shorter, and Carolina gets run all over, but they've been a little bit more competitive with Andy Dalton, and look for Atlanta to continue to throw the ball. Darnell Mooney, NBA Jam rules apply. He's on fire. 3 weeks in a row. Mooney is an absolute stud. Wide receiver 6 since week 2. Cousins is QB 9 in the same period. Kirk Cousins is a start. Daniel Jones, this is a little deeper. He's been much better over the last few weeks. And since week 2, he's QB 13. He's actually over the last 3 weeks, he's QB 13 in fantasy football. The Bengals have been in a lot of shootouts. They've been allowing the 4th most fantasy points to the quarterback position. And hopefully Jones gets Malik Neighbors back. We saw Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, he was without Neighbors and Singletary last week, and the Giants put up 29 points against the Seahawks. I know part of that was that defensive score, but this Giants offense has been really good. A fun part of this Giants offense is the running game. They've run for over 100 yards and well over 100 yards in 4 out of 5 games. Look for them to continue to do that against the soft Bengals defense to open up things for Daniel Jones. And don't forget, Jones is also someone that can rush the ball. Tyler Conklin. Every major category says Conklin could hit on any week. And he's been solid 3 out of the 5 weeks so far. Look for him to have another big week. The Buffalo Bills allowed the Baltimore Ravens, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely to do well last week. They keep everything in front of them. They're a 2-deep safety team, and they're really hard for the big play. But these guys that play underneath, like Conklin, they usually have great performances against Buffalo, and look for that to happen again. Cade Otton, you look at all the snap counts, he's on the field a lot. He dominates at tight end position, but just out of all major pass catchers, they run a lot of 2 receiver sets, and Cade Otton's on the field more than Sterling Shepard, Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer, anybody else other than, the quarterback and the running backs. So look for Cade Otton on your waiver wire if he's available. Saints are a decent matchup against tight end position, and he hasn't scored a touchdown this year. I think he's due. Cole Kmet, again, he's someone that is only a streamer at this point. There's too many good options there for Chicago, but I like it. Jacksonville is just a team you want to target all over the place, and I know we're a little desperate this week. We're just limited as usual with tight ends, but you have some injuries, you have some backup quarterbacks, and you got some bad matchups. So Cole Kmet could be somebody you can use in a stretch. He's had at least 3 receptions in every game. And, we've seen the upside here like we did week 3 with 10 receptions on 11 targets. Defenses, there is so many good matchups this week for defenses. We have multiple backup quarterbacks or rookie starters. And this one right here is Deshaun Watson's awful. Deshaun Watson is a turnover machine. 3 interceptions, 5 fumbles, 26 sacks. He looks lost out there. He has no confidence, and the team is not playing for him. They say he's given up on the team. I don't know if the team wants to even play for him, but they allowed teams like the Giants and then even the Washington Commanders to just decimate that offensive line. Philly's got a great defensive front. They should have their fun against the 31st, the second best matchup for fantasy football defenses. Houston Texans get Drake May, his first career start. Look for D'Amico Ryans and the boys to really try to confuse him. Probably going to see a lot of sacks, maybe a turnover here from Drake May. And this Houston Texans defense that's improved with a great offseason. They picked up a few big pieces. Danielle Hunter is one of them. Will Anderson's a stud, and they have Jalen Petrie and some good playmakers in the secondary. Tampa Bay, they get Spencer Rattler, his first career start as well. Their Saints aren't always the best defense to target, but a 5th-round pick starting quarterback, I'm going to go after it. And Tampa Bay with Todd Bowles is, it's a great coach, and he's going to throw a lot of different kind of looks and a lot of different things to try to confuse him. And if they get Antoine Winfield back, Antoine Winfield is just a huge playmaker and really the captain of that defensive secondary. So this has been 5-Minute Fantasy Football. As always, good luck this season.